I mean, it makes sense.
On the other hand, like, you know, you were saying about like how people are younger are most health conscious, but the reason why they're not as motivated, like, you know, to make the difference, you know, choose this or like an unhealthy option is because of the price again.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest.
So now people, what I've realized is, you know, even when I have gone to the organic store, see, that's a lot healthier than what I buy from a supermarket, like a normal supermarket. The difference that I have seen with the prices, I literally feel like I hope, and because in the US the same kind of food would be a lot cheaper.
Okay.
And there is a lot more variety in the US. Like I see when I was on keto, when I was doing like, you know, researching about veganism and things like that, there were so many things that were not available. Like today, the ingredient that I use in most of my which is a sugar substitute in most of my desserts, it's called erythritol. Erythritol here is so expensive. It's so expensive. You gotta use it like gold.
Oh my god! Or like saffron when it comes to food.
Literally, I'm not even lying. Literally like saffron. So which is why I try and get my erythritol as much as I can from like India or you know whenever my parents are traveling. Now that's been a problem because of COVID.
Oh jeez, yeah.
But luckily I got enough for me to survive till now. The problem that's where the problem is, where we face, you know, anywhere you get any of this stuff like erythritol, monk fruit sweetener, you know, people who are diabetic or things like that, and they require it. They would also get cravings. It's not like you cannot have cravings. The problem happens there, like, you know, even if you're having a juice, you have to make it at home, and so you got to put a little bit of sweetener, and the only thing that they give, which is a normal price here, which is stevia. Stevia tastes disgusting. The aftertaste of stevia is disgusting.
Is that like just a chemical sweetener kind of thing?
That's not a chemical sweetener, that's Splenda, but this is also a sugar substitute, which is made from plants. But
tastes awful.
It's in the end, like, you know, the aftertaste is awful.
So your erythritol thing, like, if you have to be very conservative with it when you put it in your dishes, right? Doesn't it affect the sweetness? Like, for example, because of the price, if you're able, like, is it a liquid?
No. It's also powder. It's also powder. It looks exactly like sugar, tastes exactly like sugar, but the only thing in erythritol, you get this cool feeling in the end. Like the aftertaste has a cool feeling on your throat.
Sorry. I was just going to ask the price, but like...
I mean...
It's about $40 for 250 grams.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Okay. And because
it's
and
almost
after
50,
that is that...
47.
You're going to have to use spoons of sugar for things. Like... So, is it the quantity, does it go in proportion as sugar, or is it like,
it's proportionate.
So you're telling me that 1 spoon of sugar is proportional to 1 spoon of erythritol, and then...
In fact, erythritol is a lot more sweeter than sugar.
Okay.
But what they do is when they sell it, many a times they put erythritol with a mixture of stevia.
Okay.
So the reason why they do that, it brings the sweetness down a little bit, but also the aftertaste of the stevia is not really, you can't feel it, but also erythritol is there to give it that cooling aftertaste then.
Okay, so they're trying to make sugar, like the equivalent of...
Yes, but there are already, like, you know how in us Indians you all would have heard like jaggery, dates. There are things, or sugarcane, or like coconut sugar. I never even knew about all of these substitutes till I got into the business, and I'm just like, dude, there's so much. And the worst bit is with sugar, it plays like cocaine in your head. It's so addictive, and which is why what people do today, you go and buy fresh chicken somewhere, there are different names for sugar. Xanthan gum, that's another, that's used as a preservative, but that is sugar, in like another form of sugar.
Oh, so you think they put it in like chicken and stuff?
Yes. Yes, and literally, I'm not joking. In when I had gone, I had to take care of all of this when I was on keto, because otherwise I'd be out of ketosis. I had to look at the sugar, the chicken behind, and see whether it has xanthan gum, and there are a lot of other names for it. You know, which people are not aware of, and they will not
100%.
know.
No, I saw this video from this creator. Her name is Dear Aline, right? And she actually interestingly talked about how chips, like everyone thinks that you're vegetarian, you eat chips and you eat a lot of other stuff, right? Pringles or like Lay's and even soft drinks. So I don't know, she just took out peanuts, cashews, a lot of shit, right? And then she like turned it over and she just thought, okay, let me take a look at these ingredients. And they were just like K something, like, this has K267, I don't fucking know, just like a letter with a number, right? And when she did research on that, those were made from like chicken tissues, chicken something, it had bits of chicken. So they say vegetarian, they don't explicitly say chicken. But like, how do you expect your common people, like the people like me, who would be like, okay, I want to try keto? And I think the main thing with keto is you avoid carbs, right? Like, what do you not?
Yeah, it's low carbs, higher in fat, but not as high because you got to take care of your cholesterol. Higher in fats, but you can have dairy in that. But you also need to take care of your dairy intake, like any kind of cheese and things like that, because it comes into fat.
So when people, talk about this over here, like, okay, so you don't have carbs, so you have a lot of fat. So my friend told me that there was a time he was kind of binging on butter chicken. Like, he's like, I ate the butter from the butter chicken. Like, he's like, I ate butter chicken, but I couldn't eat roti with it. Like, I had to get like this keto-friendly bread. But it just cycles back to, someone like me. If I was to ever do keto on my own, now, like, if I had the money, yes, I'd get a dietitian who would be like, okay, listen, buy these specific brands, like, set up a one or two consulting sessions, fuck it, if you can afford it, you can, right?
But that's exactly what I did, because I went as to someone, I was consulting someone. She was great, and she till date is in touch with me, and, it has worked wonders for her. And at the same time, one of my friends started keto. He lost crazy amount of weight. Like, there was nothing, and he didn't feel anything, like he didn't have any issues. But the problem that I faced was after that, when I got myself tested, I got my blood test done and my cholesterol levels were high. And I was like really young. I was like 24, 25. My mom's like, cholesterol? Beta, heart attack.
So what is the side effect of that? What happens when you have high cholesterol?
It's of course there's a lot. If you have high cholesterol, you got to take care of your heart, your blood pressure, and things like that, which could in turn lead to like heart problems and cardiac arrest. Most importantly, heart attack.
What are you so happy? Cardiac arrest. Let's fucking go.